Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Alexei.
Nice to meet you too.
Can you turn on the video, please?
What?
Can you turn on the video, please?
Well, I have no video on that computer, so it's not log. It's not laptop, yeah.
Okay, I got it. So let's get started then. This way. The only note from me before we start. Our HackerRank interface showed the possible plagiat of the tasks done. I just wanted to ask you up front, did you make it by yourself or you just Google the solution?
What kind of tasks? Because I know what is plagiat is. Like, what's it mean by plagiating? So, as I remember, it was first, I don't remember first two tasks. Third was a SQL query, and latest was a GitLab application. So
yeah, actually, the first two was like shortest substring, and the second one was the prime numbers.
Well, I'm not sure if I ended latest. So, what kind of plagiating is when I failed one of the tasks, as I remember.
Well,
yeah.
Actually, both of the tasks were done as far as I remember, but not really. The one was not done correctly. But yeah, for the first one, it showed the plagiat. So it means like the code that you wrote was
the first one?
Yeah.
Well, I think nope. It was a simple substring task.
Yeah,
correct?
It was quite simple.
Well, so I don't know how to plagiate so small tasks. So yeah.
I would actually thought the same, but among like 50 candidates that we had, this is
maybe I used IDEA and copied that. So I don't know how HackerRank recognized it. I don't remember how I completed first task because it was very small and it was very fast solution.
Okay, let's then get started. Can you maybe glance me over your CV and tell me about your past experience, most noticeable stuff, something that you would like to share with me?
Well, I could start from the beginning, okay? So shortly.
Sure.
I was firstly JS developer, so I was junior JS developer, and then I moved to the Python and Django framework. So later I worked in a few startups and a few outsourcing companies, where I grew my skill to the senior level. And the last 2 years, maybe a year and a half, I'm working with machine learning, so I have some practice with that because it sounds interesting for me. And I've done, for example, if you're interested in my machine learning experience, so I done microservice which recognizes inappropriate content, inappropriate text, using neural networks. Well,
which kind of methods did you use?
Well, it was simple convolutional network for photos, because someone sends interesting pics. It was Microsoft for a new social network. So, it was trained on very interesting data set, and so it was done using simple convolution networks using TensorFlow and, as I remember, CAS.
Okay, and am I right that currently you are 19?
Yes.
Okay, and you basically started your career at 13?
14, as I remember.
Yeah, so being is like in school.
Yes, correct. I know.
And you did the commercial software while being in school?
Well, when I was 16, I started to work commercially. Companies started to invite me to the work with them because when you're so young, it's very difficult. But my first 2 years, it was freelancing experience.
Okay. So are you seeking for relocation, or you want to work remotely?
Well, nope. I'm seeking for a location. I want to work remotely on the office in the Kiev, maybe on center. Yeah.
I didn't get that. You're seeking for location or not?
Nope.
No, remote position, right?
Correct.
Okay. Can you maybe describe a typical day at your current job?
Typical what?
Day.
Well, now I have no job, so I'm not employed currently.
On the previous one?
Well, previous, if we're not talking about my freelance experience in machine learning, I could talk to you about my simple backend position, default backend position. Well, so I don't know, working day starting and starting work to my part of microservice. So usually I'm working with main parts of service, and sometimes I'm working with CI/CD solutions, so like creating some infrastructure. It's not only simple pipelines, it's full architecture of all the CI/CD logic. So, well,
what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
By that, for example, I don't know, 10 microservices, which includes databases, main applications, other analytic storages. So for example, and connecting that thing using, for example, I don't know, Ansible or Kubernetes. So I mean that in CI/CD. So I have experience with that.
Okay, but did you write the pipelines? Did you make an environment for running those microservices? Did you make the bounds, or what did you do in that?
Well, as I told earlier, I worked all architecture, so it was my solutions on that company, on that position. So it's not only simple pipelines. It's full solution.
But I didn't heard any details from you.
Well, okay, it's writing manifest files for Docker Compose, writing Helm files for Kubernetes, creating pipelines and other things.
So currently you don't have any job, right?
Correct.
Okay. And what kind of position would you prefer, backend or front end?
No, I'm not preferring front end, maybe 10%, not more.
So you would prefer backend?
Correct.
Okay.
Backend or with machine learning things. So not full machine learning position, but backend position which includes machine learning tasks.
Okay. So let's play a small game. I will act as a hotel owner, and I would like to have a website of my hotel. And I reach out to you as a developer, or me as a customer. I would like to know if you're able to build me a website of such a kind of a hotel. And can you give me some estimates when can you do it?
Well, it's a strange question. You want to have a hotel website, but you didn't give me any information about what you want. So if you want to know estimates, it will take 1 month and 3 days, and will take 5,000 euros. That's it.
Okay, let's move forward. And what kind of IDEs do you use?
Idea. Yes, idea.
Yes, IDE.
Well, I used a lot of things. I used PyCharm maybe around year. It was very convenient, but I moved to Virtual Studio Code not just Visual Studio. To the Visual Studio Code, because I have a lot of experience. I work with GS and machine learning, so I can't use PyCharm for my needs. So it's not convenient for me. I don't like and highlighting. So in my end of my in my current career experience, that says that I don't need IDEA for my needs.
Okay. What kind of version systems do you use?
Versioning system like Git?
Yes, like Git.
I'm using only Git.
Okay. Do you have experience working in the distributed teams?
Yes, I worked with remote teams. Well, it was normally for me.
Okay. Did you have experience to work with the Scrum or Kanban?
I work with Scrum and would like to try Kanban. Yeah.
Okay. Ticket system that you've been using?
Ticket system like Jira.
Yes, like Jira.
Like Jira. Well, I use Jira a lot of time. I know some teams using GitLab.
Okay. And can you maybe name me strong parts of you?
Well, now one's my strongest part is knowing of basic data structures and algorithms, because it's my strong part because nobody knows that. Yeah. But maybe if we could say my strong part is Python and Python development at all, basic Python, Django framework. For example, Django REST framework is the strongest part because I'm a backend developer. I have a lot of experience with API applications.
Okay. And from the opposite side, what are your weaknesses?
Could you more describe your question in detail? I can understand.
You told me about your strong parts, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what are the weaknesses from the
weaknesses
side?
Well, my weaknesses, it's front end. Yeah, I have not many theoretical knowledges of front end about states and how GS work on inside, so maybe it's my weakness part. But I'm not front end developer, so I don't know.
Okay, and what was your biggest fuck up in your career?
My biggest fuck up, maybe on the beginning. I know story when I worked with cryptocurrency platform. It was very funny story. Guys give me a real API case, yeah, from the other exchange, main exchange. So they have they also have cryptocurrency exchange, but they use it API from Exmo. So the guys give me a case, and I tested some functionality on the tests and put real case, and application get all the money from their account. Maybe it's fuck up, but it was 4 years ago or 3. I can remember.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And let's play another small game. I will throw into you some small words, some buzzwords, and I'm expecting your evaluation from 1 to 10, where like 1, I never heard about that technology or word or anything, and 10 is I'm the best in the world in that, so no one is that better.
Okay, blitz.
Okay?
Blitz.
Yeah, kind of a blitz, yeah. So the OOP.
OOP, I don't know, maybe 8.
Okay, PHP.
PHP, 2.
Okay, Python 3.
Python 3, also 8.
Okay, Python 2.
Python 2, 7.
Okay, Django.
8 or 85, maybe 9, yeah.
Okay, Flask.
8.
Okay, Twisted.
1 only.
Okay, Klein.
What?
Klein.
Klein. Can understand an accent? What do you mean? Yeah.
Klein is a micro framework in Python.
Microsoft. Let's move to the 2. I don't remember.
Okay, SQL Alchemy.
Oh, maybe 6. Yeah, 6.
Okay, Scrappy.
Scrappy. 5.
Okay, unit tests and unit testing.
7 or 8.
Continuous integration.
Continuous integration, let's say 6.
HTML, CSS.
CSS 9.
Bootstrap.
8.
Okay, Native.js.
7.
Angular.
Also 7.
Vue.js.
5.
Okay, React.
3.
Okay, MySQL.
7.
Postgres.
8.
Okay, SOAP.
SOAP, well, it's worth a rather thing. Let's say 4.
REST.
REST like architecture style.
RESTful.
RESTful. Let's say 9.
Debian Linux.
Debian. Could you repeat?
Yes, Debian Linux.
Debian. 8.
Performance optimization.
Well, it's very huge thing. I think. Let's say 7.
Thank you. And now let's talk about some of the stuff in deep. Okay, you were saying that you're pretty good in algorithms. Then let's talk about this one a bit. And let's say you have a source where you get the data from it.
Yes.
And you definitely know that the data will not fit into the memory. But you need the data to be sorted in the end. What kind of algorithm will you choose to do that?
Data sorting to the end. Well, I think merge sort.
Okay, how do you do it?
Well, I will use, first of all, I will break my file into small chunks, small enough to fit into memory on their own. This could be a lot of chunks. We can do this in a very small console space in memory, because we can process the file one line at a time, so keeping a time and keeping a counter that tells us when to start a new chunk. After this step, we will have a number of chunks in separate files on disk. Now we could sort each of these files using sorting algorithm. Well, I think it could be a cool implementation of quicksort, yeah. And finally, we will take sorted chunks and we'll merge them in order. We can do this a little bit larger constant space in memory, because we need to have the next line from each chunk available. Well, we will write small to disk and in advance to the next line in the chunk and repeat that. After this step, we will have our file sorted on the disk. So it's called, as I remember, external merge sort. So it's pretty simple.
Can you describe me the merge sort algorithm?
Well, first it's dividing the sorted list into n number of sublists, each containing one element. Then take adjacent pairs of two singleton lists and merge them to form a list of two elements. N will convert into n divided by 2 list of size, and then repeat actions till a single shortest list. So very easy to do.
Okay, can you tell me what the MVC is?
MVC, model view controller.
Mm-hmm.
Model is data used by a program. This may be a database or a file or a simple represented object, such I don't know, for example, doc. View is means displaying of object within an application. So it's like representing everything to the user, displaying everything. So it includes anything that user can see. Control updates both model and views. It accepts input and performs the corresponding update. So control could update, for example, model, or could modify view by displaying updated chart, for example, updated, I don't know, doc. Maybe if our doc is just list of attributes, so we could display updated doc attributes on the view.
Okay, let's say you have you have to do the export of the big data with a lot of different rules and send out to different users, and you just grab the data from the single table, build the export, cut out some entries of it, depending on the rules, depending on the user, where this logic will be residing.
If we're representing it to the user's controller.
Okay. Can you name me the difference between interface and abstract class?
Well, interface contains only abstract methods, so that's why it's interface. Abstract class can contain both abstract methods and concrete methods. A concrete method means that the method has a complete definition, but it can be overridden in the inherited class.
Okay. Do you know some of the design patterns?
I know a lot. Well, let's start from the behavioral patterns. It's observer, iterator, memento, mediator, chain of responsibility, strategy, visitor, template method, state, and that's it. Also we have how it's called. It's called structural patterns. Yeah. So it includes adapter, composite, bridge, decorator, facet, flyaways, and proxy. Well, also we have creational patterns. It includes prototypes, singleton, factory methods, builder, and factory, abstract factory. Iterator.
Can you describe me what the decorator is?
Decorator is a wrapper. Yeah. A wrapper is an object that can be linked with some target object. The wrapper contains the same set of methods, as the target, and delegates to it all requests it receives. The wrapper may alter the result by doing something either before or after it. Passes, for example, passes the request to the target.
Okay, let's move forward. Do you know something about solid principles?
Yeah, I know. Let's start from the beginning. As a single responsibility principle, a class should have only one job. If class has more than one responsibility, it becomes coupled. A change to one responsibility results to modification of the other responsibility. Next it's open-closed principle. So far things, like classes, models, functions should be open for extension, not modification. SOL, Barbalis co-substitution principle. A subclass must be substitutable of its superclass. The aim of this principle is to ascertain that a subclass can assume the place of its superclass without errors. If the code finds itself checking the type of class, then it must be violated this principle. It's interface segregation principle. We should make fine-grained interfaces that are client-specific. Clients should not be forced to depend upon interface that they do not use. This principle deals with the disadvantages of implementing big interfaces. Other essence of this principle is do that fine grained interfaces is that we could reuse it again. Solid D. It's dependency inversion principle. Dependency should be on abstraction, not on conservations. So high-level models should not depend upon low-level models. Both should depend upon abstractions. Abstractions should not depend on details. Details should not depend upon abstractions.
Do you know the difference between MySQL engines, MySum and InnoDB?
I know. First, transaction engine, MySum, no. InnoDB, yes. Support of outside case, MySum, no. InnoDB, yes. Locking, MySum lock on the table level, InnoDB on the string level. one time requests to the different parts of table slower on my sum, faster on InnoDB. Operation insert more faster on my sum, slower on InnoDB. If a lot of select operations, my sum more faster, InnoDB is slower. Deadlocks, my sum have no deadlocks, but for InnoDB it's possible. Support of full text, as I remember, full text search, it includes MindSum, yeah, but InnoDB from version 5, MySQL version 5, 6 and 4, as I remember, or 5.6.5, it's also count more faster on MySum, and yeah, also support of MySQL hot copy, yeah, on MySum, and also MySum have binary table copy. I think that's it.
Yes, we're talking about the HTTP protocol, and do you know the difference between GET and POST?
Yeah, I know.
Can you name it?
GET.
First of all, I'm interested on the protocol level. What's the difference between those two protocols?
Between two protocols, it's just methods inside HTTP protocol.
Between two methods inside the protocol. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, GET when we getting something, POST when we posting data in some, for example, inside body. If you asking about that, so.
Yeah, can we do it other way around? Post something with GET and get something with POST?
Well, as another way to using, for example, GET, we could add queries, and we could use GET with queries inside URL, and with that way we could use GET to post something, if you're asking about that, but I think it's not correct way, and that destroys REST rules.
Yes, it's totally destroyed the REST rules, but RESTful rules. But the thing is that, so if we can use it both the same way, there must be a difference between GET and POST.
Correct.
On the protocol level, which makes GET not equals to POST.
Yes.
And what is that? On the HTTP protocol level, what is the difference?
Well, inside POST we have body.
Okay, do we have body inside GET?
As I remember, GET have no body, or only headers.
Okay, yes, this is the difference. Okay, we're done with the technology questions.